Guys, yes, I'm here with another makeup tutorial. I had to make it up to you. I didn't mean to miss last week's upload, but we're here again, and I decided that I wanted to do a very detailed makeup tutorial for you guys today. I started off with, moisturizing the lips as usual. I use my lip plump vitamin C lip plumper. This is Quartz, and everything is listed down below, so you can go ahead and check that out. This is actually listed in my Amazon storefront. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into cleaning up my brows. So for those of you who are new, welcome. My eyebrows are microbladed, so I no longer fill them. As you can see, I do need a wax, but in times like this where you don't get to wax, don't worry, you could just go in and still clean up that area with your concealer and you'll be fine. So I applied a darker concealer in the front, as you saw, which is Cool Tan from LA Girl Pro Conceal, and for the mid to outer underbrow, I'm using my Born This Way concealer, multi sculpting concealer in the light beige shade, and I just take my time to create small strokes to get the sharpest line to do this. And I just make sure that in everything that I do, I always try to even out the area properly. I go in with a fluffy, dense, medium size brush to blend out everything so there are no harsh lines. And as you can see for the title today, I'm trying to focus on just helping you guys to achieve your makeup to look like you got it done by a professional, okay? Everybody wants that. So now we're gonna move on to the eyeshadow, and we're going in with the Stellazzi Spellbound eyeshadow palette. I've had this palette for a while, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm gonna be going in with the eyeshadow Chocolatier. This is what I'm using for my transition today. So as you can see, I applied some concealer to my lid just to even out everything so we get the best color payoff from the eyeshadows. So I just took a fluffy medium size brush to pat the shadow in the transition area. I created like a diagonal pattern with it. If you realize, I always like to bring it up towards the front of my brow. I just like the look, and it just makes the brow highlight looks like less harsh. So I take my time to always pat it in. I always pat my eyeshadow in the transition area first before swiping it in with windshield wiper motions. Reason being is when you apply the concealer, sometimes it's not fully dried and you don't want to swipe powder onto like a creamy base that will create like streaks and kind of like remove the product. So you want to always pat in your powders. So now I'm going in with a fluffy angled small brush, and I wanted to create like this a deeper crease vibe. So I'm using the same shadow, and I'm just making that a little bit more intense in that area, because yes, we're going with a more dramatic but neutral eyeshadow look today. I'm trying my best to still give you guys very informative makeup tutorials, but have fun with the eyeshadow. I know a lot of girlies are opting for less eyeshadow looks these days, but I love having fun with my makeup, so I'm gonna give you guys options. But yeah, so that's how we're looking. Once I was done with building that up to my liking, I went in with my concealer to create like a sharp line to create that crease. And as you can see, I was not neat with this. I want to show you guys that you don't have to sweat when you don't like apply something in the best way right away. You can take your time and just work on it. So you want to just work with small strokes at all time. I try my best to not apply too much product at a time. This way you can have way more control over your product. And as you can see, as I go along with small strokes, I start to create that line. I kind of did like a tracing vibe. So I kind of did random markings in the direction that I want to create the crease, and then I started to connect everything as I blended that concealer out on the lid, from the mid to lower lid. And I'm just, as you see, as I go along, I just keep on perfecting the line. Like, listen, it's just practice, guys. I know a lot of you be like, I can't do this, I can't do this. It just takes a little more practice. So for the lid color, I'm going in with Desert Sun, which is a matte shade, and I'm taking this flat small brush, eyeshadow brush, to pat this color onto the lid. When you're working with matte eyeshadows, you never swipe. Again, we're placing it onto a cream base that's not fully dry, so you never want to swipe a powder on like a cream base or a liquid, because you will literally just ruin it. So patting motions are always going to work best, and you're gonna get the most even look from that kind of application. So you see, I love this eyeshadow. It's so calm. It's like the perfect nude for the lids. I went in with some liquid liner from Wet n Wild, and this is basically a black shade. So this is the next thing that I did not start off perfect at all. As you can see, my line was very crooked because, as you can see, I'm making a wing. So it's always just try to keep your strokes really small. So you can see I'm doing very tiny strokes, and you'd think that, oh, I'd create the most perfect line after doing makeup consistently for so many years, but I just don't sweat it. Like, you can always fix anything you think you're messing up when it comes on to makeup. Well, most of it, not anything. But yeah, so you see how I just kind of work my way into kind of straightening the look of that wing. So literally, it's small strokes, guys, small strokes, and a very light hand in everything that you're doing. When it comes on to makeup application, try to maintain a light hand and a small amount of product at a time. So as I go in towards the inner lash line, I try to keep the line very small, and I created a bit of an inner wing there, really tiny. You know, you could skip that part if you want. So I'm now going in with the Glow Seeker highlighter, Sun Idol illuminator from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I really love this. So it's actually an illuminator, as I said, but I wanted to bring some light to the mid portion of the crease here. So you see what I'm doing? I sprayed my brush to get the best color payoff from this illuminator, and I swiped it. So when you're working with shimmery shadows, you swipe. That's how you get the best color payoff and that beautiful shimmery look. Now this pair of eyelashes I got from a hair package. Yes, guys, a hair package. It's really beautiful. I have a ton of these. I went ahead and applied these off camera. Now I'm gonna go in with my primer, which is my Forever Velvet Veil from Dior. This is their 24-hour blurring matte primer. It's a long wear comfort primer, and I've used this a couple times. It's pretty decent, you know, pretty decent. I'd still, you know, rate my Tatcha over this, and also my One Size. And then I'm gonna follow up with the Forever Dior matte foundation. This is also for 24-hour wear, and this is in the shade 5W. No, I know, guys, this is definitely darker than me. It's a few shades darker than me, but I'm gonna balance it out. That's what I love about being a makeup artist. I always mix and match my shades, and it turns out just fine. Okay, so don't beat yourself up if you have a shade that's too dark or too light. You can always mix it with another formula, or, you know, when you go into contour and balance everything out. So I'm highlighting now. I'm taking back the same light beige concealer from my Too Faced multi sculpting line, and I literally highlight the T-zone, so the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, the chin, and beneath the eyes. Now you see how lightly I'm tapping the product. I'm so gentle when blending. So of course this is a damp beauty sponge, so make note of that. And yes, the foundation, the tone definitely has more of a red undertone. So, but trust me, just trust the process. It all blends out really nicely. So just patting motions, light patting motions, and you see how flawless that looks. You never drag your sponge on your skin, never. You always do patting motions, and never pat it too heavily. You can create patches. Yeah, so take your time and pat your product in. Now I'm going in with the Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Primadonna blush. This is actually a balm, guys. So I got this at Sephora the other day. The rep actually, she was so delighted to introduce this one to me. I'm not usually a balm girly, but I said, you know what, let me give it a try. It is stunning with the pigmentation. You guys, I was maintaining such a light hand here, but this product, if I went in a little harder, this would have been too bright. It's so beautifully pigmented, so I would definitely recommend, and I recommend applying it before you apply your powders, because that's how I applied it the first time and I did not like how it looked. So it's a very light hand. I like to use a fluffy brush to just diffuse that color nicely. Now I'm going in with setting the highlighted portions, and I actually use my one size translucent powder to do this. And again, patting motions. Yeah, listen, that's gonna be one of your most frequent ways of applying your makeup or movements when you're applying your makeup. Patting. You're gonna be patting a lot, but lightly. Now I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury powder in deep, and I just go around the areas that, you know, I want to maintain that bronzed vibe, you know. And I know it's all gonna come together in a few. I know I look crazy. I know I look crazy, but just take your time. Now I take this powder puff from Sammy J Royalty, and I'm just doing a little bit of reverse contouring. I use this to I use the same one size to create that line with this powder puff. It's super easy, you know, and I'm lightly running this along that area. I'm not pressing it in too hard, and after like a minute of it sitting there, I literally kind of sweep it away, you know, with my powder brush. Now I know you were thinking that, yeah, something looks weird, right? Yeah, I didn't contour the nose, so I go in with a medium fluffy brush, and I take the same deep powder from Charlotte Tilbury in deep to lightly go down the sides. And I like to use a medium fluffy brush because then it doesn't create that very harsh line on either sides of the nose. It looks more blown out and diffused, especially when I like spray it down and all the powders kind of melt into the skin. So I love using this type of brush. So this is the part where we set. I use my Airbrush Flawless setting spray from Charlotte Tilbury, which is definitely a holy grail. I mean, come on, it works. And already you can see how beautiful everything looks, and I just take my time to allow that to seep down in the skin. I get my little fan to accelerate this step, and it just dries down so beautifully. Everything looks less powdery. I go back in with my ABH Glow Seeker highlighter in Sun Idol, and this is today's highlighter, guys. I absolutely love this. So we brought some glow to the mid portion of the lids. We're bringing glow to the high points of the cheeks. All right, a little bit to the tip of the nose, and I use this size brush because I do not want anything to come off harsh. I do not want any harsh lines, and the fluffier your brush is, the more diffused your product can apply. You just have to have a very light and controlled hand. So I also apply a little to the temple there, right above the brows, and it looks like I'm glowing from within. My skin looks like butter. Okay, so with highlighting, you can lose a little bit of your blush, so I go back in with a little bit of my powder, and look at that. Yeah, I was feeling myself, I cannot lie. I love it. So the same shade I used for the transition for the eyeshadow earlier on, I'm using that to kind of blow out my lower lash line to give just a nice diffused vibe, and it's just so gorgeous. Initially I thought I was gonna do like black liner to my waterline, but I was like, you know, I think the upper lash line is already so sleek and edgy. I kind of wanted to make things a little softer with the lower lash line. So I just take my time and keep on building that product up to my liking. And as I say, very light hand, very controlled. Now I'm using my Smashbox Super Fan mascara. All right, and I just amplify my lashes with this. Now I know you couldn't see my lower lashes before, but nothing like a good mascara. Okay, so I literally just kind of clump the lashes together with the product, and then I take my time to distribute it better. That's how we're looking with the lashes, and that pretty much ties up the eyes. Yeah, I love how it came out. I feel like a look like this would be perfect for a special occasion, by the way. If you guys are wondering, like, you know, you have that special dinner or something, definitely an evening vibe, definitely. It's so gorgeous. So for the lips, I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty, one of their recent products that they launched. This is their traced out pencil lip liner, and it's in the shade Cold Blooded. Now this was not my first choice shade to get, but honey, when I got to Sephora, it was the last shade left. And I really wanted to try the formula out so much. I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and get it. But this is so close to black. It is literally so close to black. So I'm not a big fan of the shade, but I said, you know, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use it as today's liner. You know, what the heck. So what I realized with this formula is that it dries down really fast. It trust me, it wears down well. It's a lasting formula. I really do like it. Yeah, the formula is really nice. The shade, not my first pick, but I'm gonna use it because I really wanted to, you know, try it out. So as I go along, as you see, I'm kind of just trying my best to diffuse the shade because I didn't want the line to look too harsh. Now I'm going in with my Juvia's Place Lippy in Cream de Cacao. All right, and that's just adds a yummy touch to the lips. Also, I'm topping that off with my Fenty Beauty Superfine Sugar Gloss. And honey, oh, this just brings that glow to the lips. Look how gorgeous. What? But yeah, that's it. That is it for today's makeup tutorial. Makeup like a pro. I hope you guys found this informative. I enjoyed creating today's look. It is so flawless. Let me know what you guys think. As I said, all the products used are listed down below. Yeah, get into it. But yeah, everything is listed down below. I know you guys requested seeing in-depth eyelash tutorial. Because I missed last week, I wanted to give something a little bit more detail, hence today's tutorial. So I'm gonna try my best to give you guys the lash tutorial for the next makeup upload. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.